For a while, Fogbank was like the go-to answer for Thragtusk once that card came out.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool to see it back in action.
Turn to form. Ryan Overturf is on. Looks like just pretty. It's a little aggressive. It's an aggressive Nihilist, but it's still, you know, Naya. He's running Stranglegeist and Flinthoof Pores, as opposed to Farseeks and Avacyn's Pilgrims. And he doesn't have Thragtusk. He's on Thundermaw, Hellkites, and Gorkon Rampager. So yeah, I guess he's kind of mixed a little blitz with his mid range.
Yeah, he's a little more mid range, but he definitely has some aggressive, you know, hasters. If
you're familiar with the Gruul deck that ran Silver Hearts, it's kind of similar to that deck, but with the move into white, he has changed around a few things. Gets access to Smiter, has Reckoners, has Thundermaw, Hellkites at the top. Interesting lists from both players.
Yes, for sure.
I think the thing I like the most about Corey's deck is, you know, while he's trying to set up his combo, actually these cards are pretty good at stemming the tide. Like, you know, Augur of Bolus, Alchemist Apprentice, Blood Artist, like, you can gain a lot of value off of these cards just getting in the way long enough.
For sure, and the High Priest that you see in the graveyard there, along with some of these cards with Sacrifice abilities, you can just kind of make 5/5s. That's legitimate, right? Like,
yeah, no, that's a complete
the Pro Tour winning deck did exactly that. Sacrifice Outlets and Skurzdag High Priest. That's like a thing.
It is. It does exist.
Yeah,
it's real.
Is that Golgari Charm?
That's a Golgari Charm. He apparently brought that in. I think he may have expected Ryan to be on Blitz based on some of the cards that he saw, but actually Golgari Charm is pretty weak in the matchup. Doesn't really.
The mode's on Golgari Charm. Kills an enchantment.
Kills enchantment.
-1/-1.
To all creatures, and
it does something else. Regenerate your board.
Regenerate your board. You're right. So perhaps he brought it in as a little insurance against Bonfire of the Damned, which card like, Ryan's not running, but
it's like a hedge, right? Like it's like okay against some of the cards that he might be playing. It's just like.
Plus, you can use it to kill off your board before you Servitude.
Boom. Figured it out. Just all the applications.
Got to get all that Elvish Visionary value, man.
Oh, yeah.
That guy didn't come in to draw one card.
So he blocked there and chose not to use his -1/-1 to finish off the night there. And there's the namesake card. Mortal Servitude.
I imagine I see 2 Visionaries and an Apprentice at least. And an Augur of Bolus.
And the Blood Artist.
So that's like a draw 4.
And
those are pillared, I think. Well, one of those piles has to be pillar or flamed, right?
There seem to be 2 piles on both sides, so
yeah,
something's going on.
I'm curious now.
There's a High Priest.
Maybe a Rest in Peace happened and then died?
That is also I mean that's another card.
Oh, I see a Rest in Peace in the graveyard, isn't that?
That's another Golgari Charm.
Yep. No, that's very valid. We missed that one.
Yep.
Good call on Corey's part. He knows what he's doing.
And look, another thing to kill with Golgari Charm. The Oblivion Ring.
So this card that we were a little unsure of turns out to be nuts. About right.
Yeah, he would probably have no chance this game if he didn't have a way to kill that Rest in Peace earlier.
Interestingly, he did go for Skurzdag High Priest as opposed to just, you know, drawing probably 4 cards sort of with his Servitude.
Not enough.
Not enough. Perhaps
he can do better.
Doesn't want to cast it for value, willing to wait. He knows he's not under a lot of pressure from this Knight token.
Yeah, it's not a very threatening offense.
He does have to watch out for Thundermaw Hellkite, though, because that's a real deal.
Yeah, the deck definitely has a lot of reach, a lot of giant hasters.
And he blocks this time, so now he's clearly going for it.
This next turn has got to be a Servitude. Well, he drew an Augur, and he has is that Abrupt Decay? So he could go Decay, Smiter, Augur.
I think that's tempting, but I would probably just go for it. We're likely to draw into significant action, and the action we get in and of itself is pretty good between Skurzdag High Priest just turning on.
It's kind of scary to keep waiting against a deck that you know has Rest in Peace, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
At any point, if they draw it, even if you have the answer, even if you have the Abrupt Decay to kill it, it still exiles your graveyard, which he kind of needs all those cards back.
One of the nice things about this particular combo is, you know, if you can fire it off once, it protects itself from a future Rest in Peace because all the cards
you guys are in
play. So
very valid point.
I think that's probably worth just going for right here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like an Augur of Bolas is happening, so we're gonna get a little more value here.
Trying to set up, get as much value as he can.
Well, you only have 4 Servitudes, right? So like you really do have to get max value out of each and every one of them if you don't have multiple, or else, like, what happens if, you know, out of your 4 cards or what have you, you don't hit another servitude? You could just have a bunch of 1/1s against a deck with a lot of reach and flyers and stuff.
I think that means we have to probably bust our guy here, if that was our plan in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine this is just chump. And Ryan Overturf is quite flooded.
Yeah. He's got a lot of lands and a Mizzium Mortar, so he'll be able to undo some of Corey's damage when that happens, but...
A Snapcaster
Tragic
for
Slip.
a Tragic Slip on Smiter, so he's still got the Decay in hand.
Yep. I approve.
I do too. Do you think that he could have Snapcastered before, blocked also, and then
I think that
left
I might
the
have preferred that line.
Tragic Slip? I mean, it's possible that he's just leaving up Abrupt Decay mana. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
I think that was his thought. I just want to make sure I don't get got. Declares for 2.
Announces X for 2.
This many. Picks up that graveyard. This has to be like the most fun feeling in Standard right now.
Oh yeah.
Just picking up your graveyard and putting out all the 2-drops.
I can't imagine.
As soon as I get home.
Yeah, I can't imagine Corey's not having the most fun in the room right now.
So we've got some triggers. We're gonna draw.
You want to do stack the draws on top of the augurs because you want the maximum information available for the one that you have a decision to make. So some tight technical play.
Just peeled 4 cards when we went to an augur.
Unfortunate, but pretty easy fix.
Call it Judge. He's obviously was going to see that card anyway. He's just saying, like, this was clearly the 4th card. I just got rushed.
Not a big deal, but we will have to have a Judge sort it out.
He's holding the 3 in his left hand. It looks like the spotter is declared.
Augur of Bolas.
Here's the next 3. Yep. All right.
Augur of Bolas reads, it is a 1/3 for 1 in a blue. It is a Merfolk Wizard. And when it comes into play, you look at the bottom 3 cards of your library. Is that not what it does?
It's a little better than that.
That's what mine do.
A little better.
It looks like that's what Corey's do too. I'm pretty sure you have it wrong. I'm pretty sure that's how it reads.
I'll bet Corey's are way sweeter than that. Corey, interestingly, does only have 10 spells in his deck, but when one of them wins the game, it's pretty reasonable to play a 1/3.
Yeah, he has the Slips to survive, the Reaps to dig, and the Immortal Servitude to win the game.
Yep. 10 is a really low augur count. Personally, I dislike dipping below 22.
Yeah, but this combo deck, you know, it needs to find its spells, and he also sideboards up quite a bit in the spell
is
category.
A powerful card for the ability to get those sideboard cards for sure.
Yeah. So the Mizzium Mortars does go off, and all of Corey's dudes are dead.
Slippery out there.
Slip Reckoner. There a banana peel in front of that gravestone? What's...
Well, we've got some Blood Artist Altar Reap action up there.
Blood Artist a little a little mistimed.
Yeah, it looks like our Servitude really didn't generate enough value for us on the last turn, considering it drew us a Slip, a Blood Artist, and an Altar's Reap. So now we're back to the waiting game.
Yep.
So you're considering blocking and then chucking.
Yep.
I like this line.
Altar's Reap. Drain you. This deck is sweet.
This deck is sweet. Land, Tragic Slip. All right. I think we got another. Or no, that's another Altar's Reap, not a Tragic Slip. My mistake.
There is an Abrupt Decay.
Yeah. He's probably gonna have to kill. Or is it a Slip? I can't tell. Those cards look pretty close.
Yeah.
I think it's a Reap. Yeah, it's a Reap. It's debating the Decay, but holding off. I like holding off there because realistically, if you need to decay it, you can just decay it later.
Yeah.
You don't need to save that mana. You're not doing anything else. So.
Yeah, when literally all of your spells cost 2.
Yeah.
And it looks like. Yep. Dead Reckoner. Looks like Corey doesn't have any value lands, which, you know, when you're in these late game positions where you're like kind of flooded. Domri Raid, that's a powerful spell.
Yep. Domri Raid reads, look at the top card of your deck and then put it back.
Yes.
The green-red analog to Augur of Bolas.
Yep.
Its fight ability, not really that potent in this particular matchup.
There's an Immortal Servitude. We are going deep. Oh no, he announces 2. Ryan,
like,
with the flick of the hand. Yep, resolves. You got it.
He's going for the sweet ones.
Ooh, man.
Blood Artist, Fogbank, a Fogbank.
You guys can't see, but I have a big smile on my face right now. This is awesome.
Elvish Visionary, and High Priest and Snapcaster Mage, which can give any of his spells a useful flashback capacity.
The Abrupt Decay on the Domri Raid,
Yeah,
if I had to guess. If I had to guess. All right, let's stack some triggers. You know, sometimes when there's like a really complicated stack, I used to do it when I played Hive Mind. I would just write down the stack like Moto Magic Online style on a piece of paper. I might have to do that if I play this deck.
Well, I've definitely laid out, like, put all the cards in order, like, stared at them, like, oh, this is where I'm putting this, this is where I'm putting this. All right.
Actually, I had a game state like that with that Hive Mind deck where, you know, my opponent and I were going over the stack and we're, like, responding and everything in between. And the judge actually came over to, like, caution us for slow play because it looked like we weren't doing anything because cards weren't moving. We're like, no, really, we're playing Magic. It's just on this piece of paper over here.
Corey hit another Abrupt Decay with his Augur Bolus.
Sure.
And he drew a Snapcaster Mage, in addition to some more lands.
Well, I mean, this is sort of the game state that you set up to well, he didn't cast his Abrupt Decay. Interesting.
No, he let it go.
I mean, Domri Raid, not the biggest threat, but it does theoretically dig you to Thundermaw Hellkite.
Right, which is a real threat.
Which, you know, those fog banks do indeed get tapped. While Fogbank is good against the Thundermaw once it's already in play, as you're casting the Thundermaw...
Ryan using the +1 effectively once more.
Yes. The best is when your opponent pluses Domri Raid and misses, it's just like, yeah, you don't have a guy. Like, you know that you're bricking next turn also.
Corey checking on that ultimate now. Like,
I believe it's 7. And it makes all your dudes super awesome.
Super awesome.
Haste, trample, double strike, and hexproof. It's a lot of words.
Yeah,
it's a lot of additional words.
You know, there was a bug actually on Magic Online where it gave your opponent's creatures hexproof.
That's not as good. That's a weird. That is a weird.
I noticed my Ripscale Predator just got hexproof once it killed my opponent really awkwardly.
That is a strange emblem.
Yeah. I did not
your
get
creatures
the
have all
of the trample though. Just the hexproof.
That is very strange. Magic Online does some funny things sometimes when the sets are new.
It's going for an attack. I imagine it at Ryan at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, once the Domri Raid
this isn't enough to really threaten Domri.
Once the Domri Raid ever gets threatening, you can just snap decay it or straight up decay it if he has one.
And he also has the ability to decay one of his own creatures to
make
get
a 5/5
demon.
Yep.
Which pretty good line.
Yeah, a lot of
demons are sweet.
A lot of his creatures have sacrifice effects. He's got the Alchemist Apprentice and the Blood Throne Vampires. He has 3 of those. So, and the Altar's Reaps, which would also create 5/5s.
Yeah, he has a Reap in his hand, which also lets him turn on Snapcaster Mage for Tragic Slip.
Alright, so decay your Domri Raid.
And looks like we're reaping some altars here.
Altar, Reap.
This guy, he's gone. Trigger Blood Artist. Put you to 10, put me
Very
to 6.
tight technical play. Corey doing everything in the right order. I like that. You know, it's good to see clean play. You never know with the trigger rules changing all the time. You want to be sure you're doing absolutely everything. You don't want to miss a Bloodthrone Vampire Drain. Morbid is indeed active, and we will be making a demon.
Corey prepared with a demon token, it looks like. Yep.
Wow, actual demon token.
And anything else? No, that's good enough. Put our opponent to stone dead.
Yeah, he looks
sufficient.
quite lethal this turn.
Oh, 12, okay. Oh yeah, we had our life total messed up. I believe it should be 10 unless something weird happened though.
I mean, it's still quite deadly.
Double Blood Artist.
More blood.
Well, now Snapcaster Mage for Golgari Charmed does actually kill him, I think.
That is awesome. Wrath me.
Wrath me, kill
you're
you.
Dead. Yeah.
that is really sweet. I'm pretty excited that that's what we're seeing happen here.
This deck does a lot of exciting stuff. There's the hand.
Concede. Okay. That was sweet.
Look how many permanents he has to pick up.
He has so many.